This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Lillian Theatre in Hollywood for the world premiere of Recorded in Hollywood.
Yes. Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Michael Dolphin. I'm the oldest son of Love and John Dolphin.
So what was John Dolphin like?
I'm going to tell you, as a father, he was wonderful to all of us in kind of different circumstances. But I was only 9 when he was murdered. And there's a lot that you don't know about your dad when you're only 9 years old. I mean, you know him as a man, but you don't know the overall picture. But, a loving guy, I'd have to admit, and, hours and hours and hours of music. Hours of music. And I remember when I finally told me I could have my first record, I went over right to the rack and picked it up, and I still got it.
So what do you think of the performance today?
I'm loving the performance. It's years and years of a lifetime. And to try to do that in 2 hours is a challenge to begin with, but I'm very happy with the performance. I think the spirit of who John Dolphin was there, and the process of him wanting to live out his dreams and believing that the world was possible. And I think that's what I like most about the play. Not looking for the details, but the spirit of who John Dolphin was. And I'm just totally amazed that so many people still care.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Denise Dowse, the director of Recorded in Hollywood.
Great. What were you looking for in the casting? What kind of people?
I was looking for triple threats who, one, could portray the story, who had a flavor of the time, because, 1950s is a whole different energy and style of singing, and these young people who came to audition, I had a really wonderful, Michael Donovan did the casting, helped me with the casting, and brought these wonderful artists in, and then the people just these characters started to come to life as they came into the auditions.
If you had your choice, would you look for an actor who can sing or a musician who can act?
An actor who can sing.
I hear that a lot, but every time I interview the actors and they're outstanding singers, they always say they're musicians who can act. Now, one of you guys are lying. Who is it?
Well, I think it's in the body of the artist, because some musicians and singers, that's where they come from. But then they cross over into acting. But it's sort of like being able to drive a stick shift as an actor, and you can be this actor and then you can shift into singing, you can shift into dancing, and so it's sort of the wheelhouse for it all. So I'm looking for that actor who's got those other elements to it, because if you can't tell the story, I don't care how well you sing.
I love the play. I'm
so glad. Thank you so much.
Were there any challenges you had to face with this?
A cast of 18 people in Hollywood and schedules. That was the biggest challenge. It's in a magnificent group of people who really like each other, which is unheard of, because you think you'd have a diva here and there, but this is a group that totally gets each other, and they are here to tell a story of a man who lifted up lives that went unsung. So we're here to sing his song.
My show covers 80% of all musicals. Well, I cover the bottom 80%. That was a lot of community theater. A lot of the actors there have been acting for like 15 years. They don't get paid anything. Yeah. They love what they're doing. Could you give them any kind of advice?
Keep doing what you're doing, because if you love what you do, then it will pay off. I mean, it may take a year, it may take 5 years, but if you're true to your craft and you love what you do, it will come back and pay you back.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Stefan Terry. I'm a music director, composer. I'm originally from Washington, D.C. Been doing this for a long time. Graduate of the University of Maryland on the East Coast, and done a lot of shows, and I love this show. Yeah.
Okay, so could you comment a little bit about the music that you did, your style and all that?
Yeah, I love this era. Singers like Billie Holiday, those guys, Jesse and all those guys, but I have a love for jazz, and I have a love for blues. That era was had those, and even, as far as when they brought me in, I'm sorry, I'm kind of tired, but when they brought me in, I heard the music that was there, and they told me to come in and arrange it and put some special touches on it. So I just I listened, and I just wanted to capture those colors. It was a very colorful era. You know, a lot of great harmonies. You know, wonderful singers. You know, swinging. It was swinging time. You know, music. So I try to capture that at the same time. As you know, the show moved through time. You know, it started in 40, and in the 50s, and it moved on up. And so with some of the modern stuff, tried to kind of put it in a way with this, everybody from this era could still love it. You got me? You don't just have to be a lover of that era to enjoy this music. You know, it has a little bit of something in there for everybody. You know, from the rhythms to the arrangements. You know, and I have a great cast, very talented cast. So it was very easy arranging for these voices. I have a great band. Michael, Bob, and Archie helped me out. So we had a blast. And my whole goal was to make sure that when the audience came, you know, they felt like they were there. You know, they felt the spirit of it. They felt like they were. It was the life of it, really. The life, and had appreciation for John Dolphin, and would want to go back and find out more about him, and investigate and research. I know he was a lover of music. He was such a lover of bringing people together, and that's what I want to do with the music. You know, no matter what style you like. You know, we had a little Beach Boy tune in there, kind of like, you know, a little funk going on there. You know, some oldies. We had the Flames. You know what I'm saying? Sam Cooke, all those guys. Jesse Belvin. I don't think anybody else I left out, but you know, there was so much soul in their music, and we want to make sure that, you know, no matter what spectrum you're from, that when you come here, you're gonna get a full buffet of great music, great singing, and of course a great story. And the story really inspired what I was bringing musically. You know, to see this mover and shaker, this pioneer, and what a dreamer he was, and how, you know, ahead of his time he was with the 24/7, you know, store, and from record label owner to getting artists heard that had never been heard before. So I wanted to do justice to his name, to the dream he had, which was unfortunately cut off. But I find it remarkable and phenomenal that his family carried on his legacy, you know, from his wife to his grandson. So all of that went into, you know, when I, you know, go into compose and to arrange. You know, there was a guy, Andy Cooper, he did the first take of the music, and they brought me in to take what he did and just add my little touches to it. So I'm thankful, I'm very honored to be a part of this production. Yeah.
Were you involved in the casting also?
I was not involved in the casting. All right, I believe that's my director, Denise Downs, and there's another guy who was involved in that. I don't know if you interviewed the director. Did you get a chance to? Okay. But when I talked to her, when they did call me, they said, we have a great cast. They said, these voices are unbelievable. And so I was excited. I'm telling you, when I heard these voices, Stu to Jay to the son, so many others. I meant Phil, it's too many. There's not one singer in that cast who can't hold their own as an actor and as a singer. And so for me, I could push it as far as I wanted to. You know, it's nothing that they were not happy to try in rehearsals, and we could take, you know, we had ideas, you know, and we took the best ones. I gave them freedom to express themselves. You have your basic layout, you know, and then you want everybody to bring something special to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're really lucked out finding people can sing jazz.
Huh?
Finding people who can sing jazz.
Yes, yeah, jazz. You got cats here singing jazz, pop, gospel, R&B, you know, classical. So I mean, we could go any way we wanted to go with it. And yes, I am blessed, and you're right, very fortunate to be a part of this situation, and hope, you know, I believe we're going to go, you know, much further. I can see it going very far, you know, and just I'm a fan too. I love to hear good music. I love to see great shows. I love to see great stories. And our director, Denise Downs, she's a phenom. She's a genius, you know, and her attention to detail, you know, also inspired me to make sure that we, you know, create just a great, you know, scene, you know, just a great, experience for everybody. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, buddy. Cool.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm
Who
with
you
KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And you're?
Okay. I'm Stu James.
Great. And could I have a brief bio of you?
From Atlanta, playing John Dolphin in the show. Okay.
And could I have a brief synopsis of John Dolphin?
Renaissance man, owner of Dolphins of Hollywood, innovator, a lost warrior. Time for a story to be told.
So what did you think of the performance?
Well, I'm in the performance, so I think it was great.
Well, I agree with you. I thought it was great too.
Thank you. A little rough, I'm a little under the weather, so vocally, but get a few days of vocal rest, be back strong.
Great.
So check us out before we close.
Actually, even though you're under the weather, you sounded fine to me.
Wow, thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, great. Thanks for being on the show.
You got it, thank you. Okay.
My name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. You're?
I'm Eric B. Anthony. First of all, just so glad to be here sharing this story with the people of LA. I played Percy Ivy in the show. Originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Have been on Broadway 3 times and happy to be doing musical theater in LA.
And which character did you play?
Percy Ivy. I was the bad guy. So Percy gets hired by John in 1948 as a store clerk, and he is an aspiring singer and songwriter who records some music with John Dolphin, and over the years supports John, works for John, and never gets an opportunity to put out the music that he records. And at the end of the show, fatally takes John's life because of the heartbreak of not being able to live the dreams that he was promised.
I always love anti-heroes and I love villains because, again, you have to really act. It's not like you're just going to the plane yourself.
Yeah. I really appreciate you saying that, because one of the things for me that I wanted to make sure people hopefully walk away with is not that he was a bad guy, but that a lot of things happened that were really discouraging to his spirit. And I think a lot of times when people do bad things, it's because something happened that broke them. And I hope that I gave some humanity to the fact that he was a person who had dreams that were deferred by another person, and he just did what he felt was right because of being treated so poorly. Yeah.
Actually, I really liked your performance.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you did. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
It's my pleasure. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Well, my name is Jay Johnson. I'm playing Ruth Dolphin here and recorded in Hollywood. I am a USC alum, Fight On Forever. Just graduated last year and starting my transition into the real world with this production. I'm also a recording artist, budding recording artist, and have a project out on iTunes and Spotify right now called Time, Space, and Sound, and looking to continue work in that industry as well.
Great. And which character did you play?
Ruth Dolphin. Ruth Dolphin is a strong woman. She's the wind beneath John Dolphin's wings. She helps carry him into his destiny as a pioneer of music back in the 1940s and 50s. Her purpose is in so much in alignment with him and what he was sent here to do, and so her history is very contingent upon what he did. And then when he passed on, she went on and actually took over the shop as well in the 1980s, 1990s.
What's your personal opinion of Ruth Dolphin?
I think she's so strong. I think that she is so wise, and I think that she's so beyond. Even the way that her movement, you see within the show that she really does allow John to take that front position, but I think that she also could have that kind of position. But back in those days, of course, you're more likely to become attached to a man and assist in him than to have your own. And so I think that if she were to exist now, she would probably have had her own record shop too.
All right, well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thanks again. I'm Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Awesome. Franklin Grace. So I'm from originally Columbus, Ohio. Just moved out to LA and got hired to do the show recorded in Hollywood as one of the Hollywood Flames, as well as the Cigar Man and other parts of the ensemble. And so I'm having a great time, being new from Columbus, Ohio to LA. But it's great. It's great.
So what did you get from the show?
Well, the main thing I didn't really understand the story of John Dolphin. It was very new to me. So when I read the breakdown, I was highly interested and very intrigued because I had heard of Motown, of course, especially being from the Midwest. Detroit's not far at all from Columbus, but I learned so much about in every city, in every place, you know, not just in the large cities, there's groups and people trying to integrate the different cultures, integrate the different backgrounds. Of course, black and white is the main thing, but integrate from all over, which was amazing. So I never heard this story, and I never knew it took place in the 40s, and it was just, to hear about John Dolphin and his dream and his perseverance was just fantastic. It was just awesome.
All right, well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much as well. Have a good one.
My name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Philip Dean Lightstone. I am a Los Angeles native. I grew up in Northridge, California. Went to Highland Hall High School and UCLA briefly. And then I've toured with Fame the Musical and Wicked the Musical.
And which character did you play?
I played a bunch of characters. The Longboards, which is the Beach Boys style group here. I play Chief Bill Parker, the horribly mean police chief in the 50s, along with a couple other characters. The most fun is the Longboards, for sure. We have a great song called California. I can't say it's fun to be the horribly racist, mean Chief Bill Parker, but it is challenging.
Actually, I enjoy challenging parts because I actually want to see actors act.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's definitely the one. That's definitely the most challenging. I get, in that sense, it's the most rewarding because it's so outside myself.
So, what do you think of the performance?
Oh, I love it. I think it's so much fun. The singing is great. The dancing is awesome. I don't think you'll find a show around right now where you'll have more fun.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. You are?
I'm John Devereaux. I play Jesse Belvin in the production of Recorded in Hollywood. I'm from Houston, Texas. I got to LA about 2.5 years ago. I started in theater, and now I'm here doing this world premiere musical, and it's so exciting.
And who did you play again?
Jesse Belvin. Jesse Belvin is an artist who had such hits as Good Night My Love, Guess Who, and he really started, he's one of the characters who's actually a person in the show. Jesse Belvin started with John, and he went on to write great hits such as Earth Angel, which has become a huge hit, and he's just a phenomenal character to play. I just have the honor of playing an actual person. I've never done that before, and it's just very exciting.
So what kind of motivation did you put into your character?
Oh, I did all of the research I could. There's not very much footage of Jesse Belvin on YouTube. There's a few things on there. I read articles. I listened to his son. I saw his son perform. Just a bunch of things from that time period. You know, I wasn't around. My parents weren't even around during that time. So I had to really do a lot of research, and I would just listen to the music of that era and what the news articles said during that time, and that just really put me in a place to where I could live in the character as fully as possible. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think of the performance?
Oh, it's fantastic. I love being in this show. It's so much fun, and I don't know if y'all can tell, but we are having so much fun up there. And the dance numbers are phenomenal. The singing, the original songs, and singing actual songs from that time period. I love doing this show every weekend.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
All right, thank you.
Hello, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Brooke Brewer, a cast member of Recorded in Hollywood. I'm 22 years old, LA native. I've been doing theater since I was 14. I've only done community theater here and there, and I sing, I act, I dance. I don't know, kind of put on the spot, but I think that's in a nutshell. I played about 4 different characters. I was an ensemble cast member, so I was a sister. I was one of Ruth's sisters. I was a Cooper in a girl group called the Coopers. I was a laundress who worked at the Dunbar, applying for a job at the record store, and one of Ruth's friends.
Actually, I was impressed by all the women singing. Actually, I liked your singing too.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
So, what do you think about this show?
I think the show is amazing. I think it's a piece of LA history that people just don't know about, and everyone should know about, because he laid, John Dolphin, he laid such a tremendous foundation with everything that he did with civil rights and with music and everything. And then, of course, Motown came along, but honestly, I think they're probably, Motown wouldn't have been the same if there was no Recorded in Hollywood record shop. So, yeah, I think it's a tremendous story, very interesting, and it keeps you on your toes.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
And I'm Jenna Gillespie, and I played the ensemble and Recorded in Hollywood. I'm a native of Oxnard, California, and I came out here to do the show because I fell in love with the story, and it's true story. I have done theater since I was about 15, and I've been doing it ever since, and I just fell in love with this story. Denise Dowse, the director, she's a great lady. And what else about me? I also write. I write my own music. I play the piano and I compose my own stuff. I write for musical theater, and so this is my research. You know, I do a whole bunch of shows to do it, and I write with my sister as well. So I'm a composer and do that, and that's me.
So what'd you get out of this play?
What did I get out of this play? Oh man, just the history. I didn't know a thing about John Dolphin, and just his influence on music, and the fact that I'm a musician myself, and how he really wanted to make a place where music was just life. We could just listen to whatever music, whatever color skin you are, it didn't matter. It's really awesome where he just embraced all different types of music, and I fell in love with that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. I think he did sign a white group that was doing stuff, but it was probably a little bit less Beach Boys-y.
Yeah, but that's kind of what we are standing for, you know.
representation.
Groups like that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing was that John Dolphin was at the forefront of that musical integration, too. So he was, bringing in the white musicians and stuff before it was really that integrated scene of the 60s.
Which is cool.
Hello, I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
My name is Richie Ferris. I play a longboard and resident white guy in Recorded in Hollywood.
Could I have a brief bio of you?
I am an actor who's been working professionally in LA, the LA theater and musical theater scene since 2011. I also work in casting. I'm the associate at Michael Donovan Casting, and constantly working on both sides of the table.
So what do you think of this performance?
This show is a very unique situation to get to be a part of a world premiere musical that has never been in front of an audience before. I've done a lot of readings of new works, but for this one to be a show that it went right to production, it's such a beautiful story. It's a story that isn't known enough and needs to be told, and the buzz about it is crazy. We've sold out the first 2 weekends already, and it's just a story that's hitting home with people of all ages, of all races, and it's a great story. And I mean, the show is electric. The audience gives us a lot to work with, so it's a fun show.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Jake Novak, actor in Recorded in Hollywood. I am originally from Chicago. I was in school in Boston for a few years, and just moved out here to Los Angeles in August, so I'm still really new to the area, but I've been fortunate to be working a lot of the time in theater and around the community, so yeah, still very new around here, but very glad to be part of great productions like this one. I played one of the longboards, the general white male ensemble. It's sort of a lot of different things, but that's probably the most notable one.
Great. So what's your impression of this show?
Oh, I think this show is really great. I think, when I first got hired to do the show, I honestly, I'd never even heard of John Dolphin. I didn't know anything about the story, which was too bad. And learning about it was so great, and I was surprised that I'd never heard about it before. But getting the opportunity to work with this, there's an incredibly talented cast. It's like unbelievably amazing how talented everybody is. But to work with them to tell the story of this man who really is a kind of a legend around here, and it's a shame that he hasn't gotten more notoriety because he deserves it. But so to be a part of giving him his due is really a special thing, and I'm grateful for that opportunity.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Nick Olson. Nice to meet you. I just graduated from the University of Northern Colorado. I was playing Huggy Boy here at Recorded in Hollywood, and just a couple months ago I closed doing Avenue Q up in Santa Clarita. I was playing Princeton Rod, and before that, back in Colorado, I was doing Frankincense and Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. So trying to, dance and sing and do the whole triple threat thing.
And who did you play tonight?
Huggy Boy. Huggy Boy was a pretty cool cat. He was an interesting character, just the way he, nothing really seemed to bother him. I was doing my research on who he was and what brought him to this point in life, since he was like a real person, He was sitting with his wife listening to the radio, and after about an hour of nothing but music, he figured, somebody should be talking out there. So he drove down to the radio place and asked if they needed a disc jockey. They said yes, and since then he was just reaching out to different communities. He had a pretty big hand in the Chicano community and was reaching out and just, all about bringing people together through music.
That's very interesting. Back then, at that time, a Caucasian man reaching out to a black production company. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. But that was just kind of like the guy he was. Nothing seemed to bother him. He wasn't kind of ahead of his time in that respect. He just appreciated humanity for what it was and wanted to give back. And he was able to do that through music and bringing people together through sweet jams.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Matthew Sims. I am from Hammond, Louisiana. I moved here in 2011. I graduated from the American Musical and Dramatics Academy. I've done Hairspray. I've been working with Carnival Cruise Lines, and now here with the Recorded in Hollywood. I am the band leader. I am also a hat salesman.
Great.
And I'm one of the Flames.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So what do you think about this show?
This show is everything that I want in a show. It's so action-filled, fast-moving, fast-paced, but it also tells a true story of how far we have evolved, where as far as race issues and how music has been here basically because of John Dolphin. And so I'm just so proud and honored to be a part of this process.
All right, thank you very much for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Hello, I'm Shalia Nicole. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
I'm from Los Angeles. I've been acting since I was 9 years old, starting at Amazing Grace Conservatory. I went to college in New York and I studied acting as well, and now I'm back doing theater. I do music, so I took a break from acting and did my music stuff and recorded an EP and put that out on audiomac.com, but now I'm back into acting, so this is my first show back on the stage, which is an amazing opportunity. I was Bernice, one of the sisters. I was in the Coopers, and I was also one of the seductresses.
So what did you get out of this play?
It's just an amazing story to sing a song of our unsung hero. A lot of people didn't know the story of John Dolphin, and we have the opportunity to let people know about a pioneer in the music industry and in integrating cultures in Los Angeles, and that's a big deal, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Recorded in Hollywood will be playing at the Lillian Theatre from April 11th to May 17th. For more information, go to www.recordedinhollywood.com or search for AMB Theatre on Facebook.